LEGO is known for both its plastic bricks and for its wider range of themes. Some of them may be your favorite themes, some of them may not. But in its history, LEGO's had 160 different themes active, but currently there are only about 45 today. And I'm going to be ranking some of those. Hello, I am the LEGO Goblin, and welcome to my tier list. Hope you guys enjoy. And I want to say a few things. Number one, some of these themes I've never personally bought or built myself because I just didn't have an opportunity to. And for that, a lot of these themes, I'm just going to be ranking them based on their builds, when they released, and how the builds look for the time on top of the price. Of course, we gotta keep the price in mind. But, like, we're not going to be comparing old Lego Space here to modern Ninjago. It just doesn't match up because they're just two different worlds apart. And the builder, like the designers of that time, while probably the best of the best, aren't as good as the designers of today. So it's just, not fair. Number two, all these rankings are just my opinion. So if you guys disagree with me, leave down in the comments below. Let's keep a civil discussion there. And third, I didn't want to do all the Lego themes because I simply don't know if you guys are gonna enjoy this type of stuff. So I'm only gonna be doing these guys here. And if you guys want to see more, I'll just make more parts to this, and we'll just keep ranking more and more. So with that little tidbit out of the way, let's get started at Bionicle. Now, I never had the chance to really buy any Bionicles. This was before my time. But one thing I will say, if I remember correctly, they did save the Lego company because Lego was going, downhill. They were going bankrupt way back when in the early 2000s, but Bionicle saved them. So for that alone, they got to be pretty high up. And two, Bionicle just looks pretty cool. Like some of these sets are pretty awesome, and just like the customizability and like the way that you can like interchange pieces together to make new things is really sick. And I've seen a lot of people use these Bionicle and Hero Factory pieces to make crazy builds that I can never even think of. And like also like these pieces are still being used today. A lot of pieces of these Bionicles are in modern sets, and that's pretty sick. That these pieces were so good and so like well rounded. Yeah, they can be used today. So for that, it's gotta go in S tier. Now Lego Castle. Now I like myself some castles, some dragons, some knights, and Lego Castle gives you all of that. Like some of these castle builds were pretty cool, and some of these sets were very unique. Like way back when, I think it was early 2000s, late 90s, with the skeleton army sets and the castle sets. Those were pretty cool. If I could get my hands on one of them, I would, because those are absolutely like phenomenal sets with very unique pieces, very unique builds, and nice like in some different colors like chrome silver. Chrome silver, I think that was like the first time that it was fully used. Sure, it chipped at like at times if it was played with, but it was pretty sick. And I think it was Lego's first like real collectible too, like getting the full chrome silver set. Could be wrong on that. I'll fact check it and let you guys know in the comments. But some of these builds are really cool, and the modern ones too. Like the modern Lego Castle that came out recently is pretty sick, and I want to get that one before it retires. So for that, it's gotta go in A tier because it just doesn't live up to Bionicle, but it's also like really good. So now Lego Chima. I have some mixed emotions about Chima. On one hand, I don't like it because it tried to replace Ninjago. Ninjago, I'll talk about way more once I get to it, but Chima, I don't like Chima simply because I thought it was trying to replace Ninjago. So, not a big deal, but putting that aside, some of the builds were pretty sick. Like this Ice Mammoth from I think one of the last waves was pretty fire. It's like an Ice AT-AT and it's like a massive build. It's really cool. Some nice trans blue pieces and it looks sick. They had some really unique molds for the people too, like the head dresses, the head like pieces too that made their faces awesome. Love that. But like I can't think of Chima without bringing the show into it, sadly. So it's just like I can't separate the two. So for that reason alone, it's got to go in B tier for me. Now Lego City, I don't like Lego City. I frankly dislike it a lot. Simply because it's just not my cup of tea. Like I like sci-fi builds, fantasy builds, mechs, dragons, unique places, like spaceships and all that. And Lego City doesn't really give me that. It doesn't. The one thing I can say I like about Lego City is the like ocean explorer stuff and the submarines and all that. That's cool. I like that a lot. But like I'm not a fan of the helicopters, planes, trains, police stations, police cars, trucks, and all that. It's just I'm not a big fan of it. So I gotta put it in C tier. Now, Lego Creator 3 in 1. Well, personally, I don't buy Creator 3-in-1, but I can see why people do. It's a really fun theme because you just have so much customizability and you get so many cool pieces and you can just do so many things. Like there's this one set I think that came out recently. It's like this giant dragon and you can turn it into some other things and it's really cool. The one thing I don't like about it is that like all three builds can be really cool, but you can only choose one. And it's like it's so annoying because like, oh, I want all of them, but I can't have them all. So for that, it's gotta go and B. Below Chima because it's not as good as Chima, but it's still pretty good on its own now. Lego DC. That one is a dumpster fire right now. That one is absolutely down in the dumps because of all the Batman sets. Like, there's just an oversaturation of Batman, and I think I'm just not personally a big fan of DC in general. Like the DC sets, because some of them just aren't good. I didn't really grow up with Lego Batman and all that. I never play those games too often, so I don't really have any like fondness of those characters. And like, there's just too many of the same builds, and I don't really like it. And they're also just very expensive because it's a licensed theme. So it's gotta go below Lego City and C tier. Now Lego Harry Potter. That one is a tough one for me because I have some of the first few Hogwarts sets that came out a few years ago. Not the original ones, but like the remakes. I got a whole line of them, and they're cool. I like them, but it's just they come out with a new one every single year, and it's always like 50 to $150, and that's just way too much money to spend on multiple sets every year to take up room when I could be buying other themes that I like more. Not to say Lego Harry Potter is bad. It's a pretty cool theme, and we've wanted some of these sets for a long time, but it's just not my thing. So it's gotta go in low B tier now. Jurassic Park slash World. Now that one, I'm a big fan of this one. Now I will say one thing I don't like about it is how expensive they are because of the dinosaur molds. But putting that aside, they're pretty freaking cool. Like the Indominus Rex and all that from Jurassic World, and then the Indoraptor in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I believe. All of that's really cool, and they have really like awesome builds, like awesome jeeps, awesome helicopters, awesome like pens and containment units. They just have some really nice stuff, really awesome stuff. So for that, it's gotta go in A tier. Now the Lego Movie. This guy, there's not much that can be said about that hasn't already been said. This guy is sick. I love the Lego Movie because it brings in the aspect of Creator 3-in-1 where you can transform your set into two different things, like turn an ice cream truck into a flying ice cream truck. But it's to a point where the normal stuff is cool, but you would rather have the transformed bullets because they're just so much cooler. And like it brings like so many themes together. It brings like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Ninjago kinda. It just brings so many things together, and it's just awesome. And the builds are really cool, and I thought the builds are really awesomely priced. Now the Lego Movie 2 is a whole separate bag. That's a whole separate theme, I believe. Maybe part of the same movie, but separate theme. But if we're just talking about Lego Movie 1, it's gotta go in S tier. Not as good as Bionicle, but still pretty good. Now, Lord of the Rings. Okay, now recently, Lego's been going on like a tear with these Lego Lord of the Rings sets, and they've been amazing. Like I have Rivendell on my shelf right now, and it's beautiful. I absolutely think it's gorgeous. And Barad-dûr, absolutely stunning build. The Hobbiton build, amazing. All of these builds are just so cool, and it's not even counting for the originals from way back when the movies are coming out. Those are also sick builds, and you got the Hobbit ones too. It's like the theme is really good. Some of the more recent sets very expensive, but I think the price kind of justifies it for me, and that goes in low S for me. Now, moving on from Lord of the Rings, we got Lego Marvel. Now, for a few years back, when Infinity War and Endgame were coming out, I was getting a lot of Lego Marvel sets. Like I have the big fig of Thanos from the Milano way back when Infinity War first came out, with the full Infinity Gauntlet with all the stones. And I was going on a tear trying to get every single Infinity Stone because like it was just so cool to have that Thanos figure with all of them. Amazing stuff. And some of those sets were pretty cool, but a lot of them at that time were pretty bad. Like there's just one Wakanda set where it's like this facility and it was just so weird because I don't remember that it ever looking like that in the movie. It's just some of them weren't good, but a lot of them were pretty good. And a lot of them before that were also good. Like the Tiny but Mighty sets, I think that's what they were called, with like little like cars with like different smaller versions of the characters. Pretty fun. But now modern Marvel is just like it's just like a blemish. It doesn't feel good. A lot of these sets don't look good. Some of them do, like the Daily Bugle and Avengers Tower. That ones aren't included. Like the ones that we all know are good aren't included in this like ramp. But the just like the bad ones are just way too bad and they're just way too expensive. And like I'm personally not a big fan of Marvel right now. I've kind of lost steam in my, love for Marvel. So it's just kind of fallen to the back foot. Remembering it for the time it was, I'm gonna put it in low A tier, just simply because it was good when it was good. Now Lego Minecraft. If there's ever a theme that I dislike with a burning passion, it's this one. This one I do have quite a few sets of, and most of them don't look good. They're not good display pieces. They don't feel like display pieces, and that's what I'm mainly into right now, just displaying my Legos. They're more of like play sets for little kids to play with, and I'm just not into that, Like it's just not my theme. And I do think it captures the game's feel pretty well because it's bricks, it's Lego bricks. But like it's just they're very some of them are very weak and some of them just don't even look good. Like there's some of the older ones that I own look terrible, but some of them do look good. There are a few shinings in the cracks, but it's got to be F tier for me. Oh, Lego Mixels. Don't get me started on Mixels, bro. I love me some Mixels. I have a few of the Mixel Maxes over there in my Lego collection where I'm putting all the rebuilt sets, and I gotta say, I enjoy them quite a lot because there's a lot of customizability, a lot of variety, and there was always something unique about them every single series that they had. Like, I love them. I adored them. I got like I think the first three series for my birthday one year. I absolutely lost my mind on them because they're just so fun and so unique. So because of that, I gotta put it in high A tier. Ooh, Lego Nexo Knights. Now, you may think it's like something like the Chima, where I don't like it, but no. I love me some Nexo Knights. Nexo Knights, it's gotta be in like my top 10 favorite themes ever. I have a lot of Nexo Knight builds. It's gotta be my second most like abundant theme inside my collection. It's because it's just so unique. Like future and knights, like futuristic like stuff and medieval knights mashed together. You get Nexo Knights, and it's cool. Like I have like a lot of sets from the first wave, the second wave, and a bit from the third wave. Like I just adore it. Like I have Knight and Castle, I have Jestro's Evil Jestro's headquarters. I got the Fort Tracks. I got a lot of stuff, and they're all beautiful. Most of them are really beautiful. Some of them, like Macy's Thunder, like Mace or whatever it's called, terrible, absolutely god awful. But a lot of them are cool sets, and they're very, very like well priced and well pieced out. So for that, it's got to go on S tier too, like low S tier because there are better ones coming, but it's still amazing. Now, it's time for the Mac Daddy of Lego themes for me personally. It's Lego Ninjago. Now, I could do a whole like hour's worth of talking about Lego Ninjago, but I'm gonna try and keep this as brief as I can to make room for the other themes that we got left. But Lego Ninjago, I love it. I grew up with the show. I grew up with the theme and the sets. Like I've seen these characters grow up and like evolve through time, like as I have. I remember way back when I was like way younger, I was even pirating. I guess I don't know if I can say that, but like, trying any way possible to watch the show when it wasn't releasing in the U.S. as in other parts of the world. I was diehard with this theme. I have the three Ninjago City builds, like all connected, all three modular builds that like recently came out on display on my shelf. I don't have the Lego Movie themes or sets because that's a whole different theme entirely. I'm not a big fan of it, and that's a talk for later, but that's not a big deal. I love Ninjago. It's one of my favorite themes, if not my favorite theme. It's the bulk of my collection. I have sets from Rise of the Snakes all the way to Dragons Rising season. Is it four? I think it's four. Season four. A beautiful theme, amazing theme. I love it. And the Legacy sets that just came out, absolutely stunning. Old Town, like I don't know what else I can say about this. This theme's amazing, and it's my favorite. And the show is top tier, so that's got to be the top of S tier. Ain't no way, ain't no discussion. Lego Pirates. Now this one I have a handful of sets from. Like I have a handful from the early pirate sets. Like I have the Soldier's Fort, I have the Driftaway Island, and the Pirate Raft. I have a few, and they're pretty cool. Like they're not nothing to write home about, but they're nice display pieces, and I can appreciate that. And they give you a lot of figures, and for the time, they're pretty good builds. So Okay, it's fine. It's kind of funny that I just wanted this whole like glazing trip for Ninjago, and I'm just giving like Pirates. Yeah, it's good, but that's really all I can say. It's good. It's B tier. Okay, so now we're getting into the really old one here, the oldest one on the list, I think. Lego Space. The old Lego Space from the 80s is I might not have a lot of hits from it, but it's really cool. I enjoy it for like the time it was released. It was nice. They're cool sets. They're fun sets. And I know in the rebuild series, I rebuilt the Renegade from Blacktron 1 way back in the 1980s. That one's actually a family members of mine, and they gave me and my family a bunch of their old Legos. And that's how I have that one. I have a few more Lego Space sets in my collection that I gotta, sort through and like rebuild for you guys. But the one issue I have with Lego Space is simply the fact that the instructions are so confusing. I don't like old constructions, like instructions, I mean, because they're just like they're not. It's a lot like quick. It's a lot faster. Like they don't do the whole like step by step thing they do now. It's different. I'm not used to it. But for the time it was released, it's a really cool theme. So it's gotta go above Lego Marvel, you know. Ooh, Lego Star Wars. Now, in modern day, Lego Star Wars is not too good. It sucks, if I'm being honest. Smart Bricks, terrible, terrible choice on their part. But pre-Smart Brick Lego Star Wars was pretty sick. I enjoyed myself in Lego Star Wars, and I still do, because I'm a big fan of of Star Wars in general. And Lego Star Wars brings some of my two favorite things together to make this amazing theme. I mean, like, because, I have a few UCS sets. Like, I have the UCS Clone Gunship. I have the ATTE, not the UCS ATTT. ATT. I have the non-UCS one. I got Vader's Castle. I got a lot of Star Wars sets, and I like Star Wars a lot. And I think some of these sets are really cool. If we're talking about pre-Smart Brick Star Wars and pre-modern Star Wars, we're gonna put that in S tier. But current Star Wars, we gotta put it below Mixels, but above Castle. Okay, so now we only have two themes left, and they're decent themes. Now, Lego Technic, I can personally say I don't like Lego Technic, simply because all the pins and axles, they hurt my fingers whenever I have to put them into place. But some of the sets are really cool. They're really awesome looking builds. And I can say that the Leap Here 9000 or 9800, whatever it is, from Lego Technic, the motorized one, is amazing. I love that set. I will die for that set. Like it's actually stunning and beautiful, and is a beautiful like just piece of my collection. And the fact that it's motorized, some of these motorized sets actually have me like losing my mind. Sure, it increases the price, but they're just so cool that you can actually play with your Lego sets using like controllers and move them around. That's insane to me that you can do that with Lego motors and Lego like Mindstorm stuff. It's amazing. It's beautiful, and I will forever defend those cool sets. Now, some of the Lego Technic sets look terrible. They look like poop, but a lot of them are pretty cool. And for the most part, I'm not a big fan of it. I can appreciate the coolness of some of these sets, but just because I only have like a handful of them, mainly the Leap here, I can't really rate it higher any more than a high C tier. Because it's just like some of them are cool, but most of them aren't. It's like you win some, but you lose most. Now, Ultra Agents for our last theme on this list today. Ultra Agents was a pretty sick theme. Like it took the pre-established theme of agents, but then just made it ultra. Like you upgrade it. You went from regular agent school to ultra agent school. It's just sick. And some of these builds are awesome. Like the ultra agent like HQ boat, amazing set. Drillix Diamond Heist, really nice, compact, small set. A lot of these sets were really cool and really nice for the time, and I'm a big fan of them. Like if I had regular agents on this list, it'd be C tier, and this one would have to be B tier because like no, it's got to be the top of B tier because just Ultra Agents is really well rounded, but there's just some things that can make it better. And one thing I will say is that the fact that they took Mr. Pale and Tox from Ultra Agents, really fun, and really cool detail. So that is my ranking. Let me know what you guys think about it down below in the comments. And if you guys enjoyed this, don't hit that like button, leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you guys all next time.